LoreWarrior Online, LHU-2B, Lao Hu. Overview. Credit for the development of the Lao Hu belongs to a young student at the Victoria Academy of Arms and Technology. She noted that the Thunder design, though successful, contained a few flaws that were easily corrected with the new construction materials now obtainable through Chancellor Lao's Xinsheng efforts in the military-industrial complex. The student was given the privilege of naming the new mech, dubbing it the Lao Hu, which means tiger in Hanyu Chinese. The design has lived up to its namesake, proving to be a powerful and aggressive force on the battlefield. Capabilities. The top-heavy Lao Hu was designed from the start to bridge the gap between heavy and assault-class battle mechs and hold its own against superior machines. The autocannon is the same LB-20 found on the Yuhuang assault mech. It's supplied with enough ammunition to conceivably destroy 2 to 4 assault machines. This ambitious design also increased the Lao Hu's demand for extended campaigns. The Lao Hu also possesses a strong, long-range weapons profile, an extended-range large laser in the left arm complementing the torso-mounted long-range missile rack. With the varied LRM munitions developed recently, these two weapons augment the mech's already strong tactical position. The Lao Hu's aggressive nature is enforced by the GM375XL engine, which bestows the best movement curve a 75-ton mech can employ. With speeds ranging up to 86 km per hour, the new design has a rapid approach, trading out the LRM rack for an autocannon and an effective range. Deployment. The Lao Hu entered service in 3062, in time to see some action in the St. Ives conflict, though its role was usually underplayed. The strength of the design shows, however, in the numerous petitions since then from assault-class lancers and companies requesting the Lao Hu. For her role in developing the mech, the student, who was drafted early from school by the Prefectorate Guard, was awarded the prototype she helped build and escorted by a full lance of these machines into the Guard. Now in its 7th production run with several variants and outstripping Shongli Arms' Jingao in popularity, there are few regiments in the Confederation that do not boast at least one of these new mechs. Variants. Both Lao Hu variants retain the ER large laser for its solid jousting ability. The LHU-3B shaves off a ton of armor and trades down its LB-20 for an LB-10. The LRM-15 is scaled back to an LRM-10 with Artemis fire control. This saving in weight allows it to mount one of the Confederation's still rare C3 master computers. The 3B variant is reserved for high-profile units only. The 3C model is far more common than the B, and is beginning to rival the 2B in numbers. A standard Gauss rifle and 2 tons of ammunition replaces the LB-20. The LRM-15 is cut apart into 3 LRM-5s and 3 tons of ammunition, allowing for maximum tactical flexibility. So the Lao Hu is a 75-ton machine. Its chassis is the Chariot Type 2 Endo Steel with a GM375XL power plant. Its cruise speed is 54 kph and its maximum speed is 86 kph with no jump capacity. Its armor is the Starshell Standard. Armament is a single Shongli LB-20 autocannon, a Zeus LRM-15, one Martel extended range large laser, manufactured by Shongli Arms on Victoria. Its communication system is the Dianbao Comms standard. Targeting and tracking is the OP911 targeting and tracking system. So that translates into a mech with a walk of 5 and a run of 8 with 10 double heatsinks for 20 overall dissipation. Its head armor is 9, center torso has 33 points while its rear has 10, right and left torso have 24 points with 7 on the rear, and its arms have 23 and its legs have 28 points of armor. The LB-20 is split between the right arm and right torso, with 15 rounds of ammunition in the same side. Its LRM-15 is located in the left torso, with all of its ammo, 16 shots, located in the left torso, and the ER large laser is in the left arm. Interesting note, it does not have any case to protect in case of an ammunition explosion, but then again, it doesn't need it, does it? Because if it's in the side torso, it's going to go boom anyway because of that. Possibly... I guess no, the LB-20 would have taken up, yeah, there's no room. Yeah, the ER large would have taken all the slots. Basically, it's decent, but the second there is any penetrating shots into the side torso, there's always the chance of that thing going boom. But the trade-off is you've got a mech that's got a pretty good punch. It's very simple loadout, which I like. I like simple loadout on mechs because it gives you an ability to focus on one attack each turn that you're going to go in. If you're longest range, you're using LRM, then you're going to get in range with the ER large, then you're going to try and finish with the LB20 as you get into brawling range, which is pretty good. 15 rounds of ammunition for the LB20 is pretty friggin' nasty. I'd probably take that on a 7-8 split of solid and cluster munitions, because you're probably going to open something up eventually with one of your LB20 shots, and that's when you switch to cluster and just start, spraying and praying for the crits. The ER large, I suppose the only thing that really holds the mech back is probably its ammunition dependency, and for some people they're also going to say the XL engine, obviously. The fact that the right and left torsos have 24 armor, whereas the legs have 28, I always find that strange as a balance. I suppose statistically, the right and left torso probably aren't going to get hit as often as, say, the legs or the arms, as I think there are more chances to hit those on the table than you do the side torsos. But if this is a mech that in universe is going up and going toe-to-toe with 80 to 85 ton machines, I want as much armor on the torso as humanly possible spread across, because I'm more likely to be getting shot by a lot more weapons in return, because we are talking about a machine here that is very well equipped for dealing with bigger mechs, but they're also going up against mechs that are slower but are probably toting a lot more gun and a lot more armor by comparison. So getting into a brawl with an 80 to 85 ton machine is probably quite dicey. Its speed is decent. Obviously, it moves as fast as a lot of the other 70 tonners out there, but even a few of the 65 tonners. So it can it can run when it needs to, I suppose, but still. Not bad. Visually, I don't dislike it. It's not a bad design. I wish the artist hadn't done these fucking cross lines on the knee pads. I just don't know why this artist thought that this was some kind of like, that's my mark. It is how I do this. It is my art. I have to put this on here. Why? Why do you do that? It just takes away, and it makes it look like it's in a fucking construction site every single time. Tea break. Yeah, you can tell when I recorded all these now. So it annoys me, but I do appreciate this is the same artist as like for the previous with the White Flame and a bunch of others in this. They didn't make the gun barrels massive. I mean, look, the ER large laser actually just looks like it's a big laser, but it's not, this honking great tube. And even the LB, it's a big weapon, but it's communicated not through the fact that the barrel is gigantic. It's this huge casemate on the arm that looks really, really nice. It makes sense. You could imagine all of the feeds and stuff pulling the ammo into it as it's firing, rather than, again, gigantic barrel go boom with smoke coming out of it. That is a lot better. And if more of the machines throughout this book had this kind of approach to the way that it did the weapon scaling, or the way they were just laid out, it would be really, really good. But, yeah, I personally don't dislike it. I could see this going into a game like LoreWarrior Online, for instance, because it's kind of in the wheelhouse. It has a lot of the same kind of aesthetics, like the angled lines and stuff for the mech. It doesn't have a lot of smooth surfaces, like rounded edges or stuff. It does seem to have a lot of kind of straight lines and geometric kind of shapes, which MWO and I think a lot of more modern Battletech tend to go for, because it's a bit more kind of modern militaristic style of design, rather than that kind of rule of cool 80s sort of curved design to a lot of machines. So yeah, especially in anime and stuff like that. But I'm rambling anyway. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one all. Bye bye.